Good afternoon, everyone. And
Good afternoon, sir.
before going to today's discussion, can you unmute once your videos? Everyone, please open up your videos once. Then we move to our discussion today. Please, everyone unmute your videos once. మీ వీడియోస్ ఒకసారి ఓపెన్ చేయండి. Everyone, please, Dasu Allapuram, Pratyusha, MI Note 8, Redmi 9 Prime, Vanaja. Please unmute yourself once. Okay, who is this? MI Note 8. MI Note 8. Please say your name. MI Note 8. మీ నేమ్ ఒకసారి చెప్పండి. Redmi 9 Prime. మీ నేమ్ చెప్పండి ఒకసారి. Redmi 9 Prime. ఎవరు ఒకసారి మీ నేమ్ చెప్పండి. Okay, right. So I don't want to waste my time now, because as a student, I have to see your attendance. As a teacher, I have to see your attendance. So that I am asking about to open up our videos. Okay. So ఇందులో ఇక పెద్దగా మీరు మీ నేమ్ అట్లీస్ట్ మీ నేమ్ చెప్పినా కానీ మీరు అటెండెన్స్ యాడ్ అవునట్టుగా ఉంటుంది. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మే బి. సో ఐ విల్ స్టార్ట్ మై క్లాస్ టుడే. Can you give me what are the things we discussed in our last class?
So we discussed about Harappan town planning and drainage system.
Okay. What we discussed in our grid system, basically town planning. Yeah, right. So I will recap once the points what we discussed in our last class, and then we'll move to today's discussion. Because in the last class we discussed about the grid system, basically the town planning. Okay, now you mute yourself. Okay, before going to today's discussion, I have to share my screen. Okay, right. Are you getting my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So in the last class, we discussed about town planning basically. In the town planning, we discussed about the various things like the streets, buildings, the construction of the buildings, and the drainage system, basically drainage in the sense the domestic, the drainage lines, which is from the dwellings to the outside drainage. Okay, so outside drainage in the sense the drainage lines which are besides the roads. Okay, so roads also which is straightly they are intersecting at 90 degrees angle, and they are towards north to south and east to west, and within the town planning, they also constructed their town in a planned way, that also which divide into the three or two parts. Major cities you find nearly only the two parts. Okay, so one is the lower and upper town, and one or two cities you find the middle town also. Okay, so this upper town which is surrounded with a citadel, a protective wall, and the buildings at the upper town had a certain number of rooms which is categorically they construct, they divided. Okay, so like the living room, kitchen, likewise a bathroom, likewise. Okay, so whereas in the lower town, you don't find any protective wall, and the houses with only one or two rooms. Okay, so when you see a analysis on this, the lower town, which is mainly confined to a particular servants or like that, or any lower section, what in the modern society you find. Okay, so where these lower classes which are living outside the village, and which are also living somewhat far away from the main society. Or likewise, the thing you find at the Indus Valley also. Okay, in the lower town, you find the houses with one or two rooms. It's supposed to be say that the lower section of the people who are served to the upper classes or upper town, the people who are living in the upper town, okay, they are living at the lower. Okay, it's a general analysis. Okay, so and there are certain important features also you find in the upper town. Okay, so all these are the things we discussed in the last class. Okay, so today we are going to see about the arts basically. Okay, so the arts culture. Okay, so the arts in the sense the craft culture which developed in the Indus Valley. Okay, so after completion of the arts and culture or the craft production, what you find in the Indus Valley, then we'll move to the general conditions. Okay, so arts is a one of the part in the cultural aspects of Indus Valley. Okay, so craft, the number of crafts you find. Okay, so within the crafts, like the pottery. Okay, so you find the number of types of pottery at Indus Valley, and also you see the terracotta figurines. You also see the number of seals which find in the Indus Valley, and you also see the a metallurgical craft, the craft production at Indus Valley in the form of the bronze statues what you find. Okay, so and the terracotta figurines what you executed at Indus Valley sites, all these things. And apart from these, what are the implements, what are the utensils they used, and what are the weapons they followed, and what are the agricultural implements they used, and basically these agricultural implements which is made with certain metals. Okay, so all these things we see. Okay, so you are watching it on your screen like the stone tools. Okay, so you find one of the two stone tools, and in the second picture you also find certain stone tools which is used for various things. And in the third picture, okay, below those two pictures, you find another picture which is about the bronze tools. Okay, so bronze tools also used domestic purpose. Sometimes they hunting, fishing, all this, and sometimes they use these tools for the agricultural aspects or agricultural practices. Okay, so all these are the things we are going to see the today's class basically. Okay, so apart from this, we also see the things like the pottery. This is the pottery. These are the number of these aspects. These are the pottery, the types of pottery basically you find at Indus Valley. And in the historical words, you better to say it as a painted graveware. Okay, so painted graveware where you find in number of places you also find black and red earthenware also. Okay, so these are various pottery you find at the Indus Valley sites. Okay, so the Harappan pottery includes the goblets, dishes, basins, flags, narrow-necked vases, cylindrical bottles, and tumblers, corn measures, spouted vases, and special type of dish on stand with stand which was a offering like a certain incense burner. Okay, these are the various pottery artifacts of pottery you find at Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so before going to all these things, and I have to give some introduction towards the arts, which are the part of Indus Valley culture. Okay, so the arts of Indus Valley civilization, which emerged during the second half and third millennium BC, and the forms of art found from various sites of the civilization include sculpture, seals, pottery, jewelry, terracotta figurine, etc. And the artists of the time surely had fine artistic sensibilities and a vivid imagination. Okay, so their delineation of human and animal figures was highly realistic in nature. And since the anatomical details included in them were unique, and in the case of terracotta art, the modeling of animal figures was done in an extremely careful manner. Okay, so the two major sites of Indus Valley, basically, along with the Indus River, the cities of Harappa in the north and Mohenjo-daro in the south, and one of the earliest examples of this civic planning. Okay, so Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, both are the important and largest cities you find in the Indus Valley, and these cities you find the number of objects, basically the crafts, object of the craft, and sculptural and various jewelry objects you find here. Okay, so and you find a number of things also. Okay, like the houses, the construction of the houses, and the markets, storage facilities, and such offices also you find. Okay, so offices, the best example of office in the sense, one pillared, a largest pillared building you find at Mohenjo-daro, and it is like and one of a pillared building at Harappa is supposed to be a assembly hall like that. Okay, so and public bath, etc., which is arranged in a grid-like pattern. And there was also a highly developed drainage system you find. Okay, we already discussed about the drainage system and also town planning and grid system also. Okay, so and while Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are situated in basically the majority part of the Pakistan, and the important sites executed in India are the Lothal and Dholavira in Gujarat, Rakhigarhi in Haryana, Ropar in Punjab, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, and many other things you aware, many number of cities also you aware aware with various things. Okay, so when you see the stone statues, basically, we'll start with the stone statues, and these stone statues like these stone statues like various figurines. Okay, so basically this is various figurines, and this is a priest king. Okay, so priest king is a important stone statue you find in the Indus Valley sites. Okay, so statues, whether in stone, bronze, or terracotta, found in Harappa sites are abundant. Okay, so but they are somewhat refined. Okay, so the stone statues found at Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are excellent examples of handling three-dimensional volumes. In stone are two male figures. One is the torso in red sandstone, and other is bust of a beard man in a soapstone, which are extensively you aware. Okay, so the figure of beard man, interpreted as a priest, is wrapped in a shawl coming under the right arm and covering the left shoulder. This shawl is decorated with trefoil pattern. Okay, so this shawl is decorated with the trefoil pattern, and the eyes are a little elongated and the half closed, as in the meditative concentration. Okay, you are already watching that statue, right? So, which is supposed to be a priest king, right? And uh, the mouth is a average size with close cut mustache and a short beard and whiskers. The ears resemble double shells with a hole in the middle. The hair is parted in the middle, and a plain woven fillet is passed around the head. Okay, so an armlet is worn on the right hand, and the holes around the neck suggest a necklace. Okay, so this is a stone statue you find in the Indus Valley civilization. When you see the bronze casting, bronze casting, the art of bronze casting was practiced on wide scale by the Harappans. This is the bronze casting. Okay, this is the bronze statue, which is to be supposed to be called as dancing girl, bronze dancing girl, having a 10.8 centimeter high and which is nearly 4,500 old, which found at Mohenjo-daro in and around 1926. Okay, so and here a art of bronze casting was practiced on a wide scale by the Harappans. Okay, their bronze statues were made using the last wax technique, in which the wax figures were first covered with a coating of clay and allowed to dry. Okay, so then the wax was heated and the molten wax was drained out and drained out through a tiny hole and in the clay cover. The hollow mold thus created was filled with the molten metal, which took the original shape of the object. Once the metal cooled, the clay over was completely removed. In a bronze, we find human as well as animal figures. The best example of farmer being the statue of girl, popularly titled Dancing Girl. Okay, so this is a human figure. Okay, bronze dancing girl is a human figure. Other than human figure, you also find certain animal figures also. Okay, so and amongst animal figures in bronze, the buffalo with its lifted head, back, and sweeping horns, and the goat are artistic merit. Okay, so bronze casting was popular at all the major centers, right, of the Indus Valley civilization. And the copper dog and copper dog and a bird of Lothal and the bronze figure of a bull from the Kalibangan are no way inferior to the human figures of copper, bronze from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Okay, so like the human figures, you also find the figures of these metals, animal and also birds you find at Mohenjo-daro. Okay, so metal casting appears to be a continuous tradition. The late Harappan and Chalcolithic sites like Daimabad in Maharashtra yielded excellent examples of metal craft tools. Okay, so when you see and when you see about the terracotta figurines, basically, these terracotta figurines, these are this is artifacts where you find in the supposed to be a terracotta figurines. Okay, so the Indus Valley people made terracotta images also, but compared to the stone and bronze statues, the terracotta representations of human form are crude in the Indus Valley. Okay, so and they are more realistic in Gujarat sites and the artifacts which find at the Kalibangan. Okay, so and the most important among the Indus figures are those representing the mother goddess. In terracotta, we also find number of figurines of beard males with coiled hair and their posture rightly upright. Okay, so rigidly upright, posture rigidly upright, legs slightly apart, and the arms parallel to the sides of the body. Okay, so and the repetition of this figure in exactly the same position would suggest that he was a deity, right? So a terracotta mask of a horned deity was also been found, and the toy carts with the wheels, whistles, rattles, birds, and animals, and gamesmen are also rendered in the terracotta figure. Okay, so apart from these, you also find certain clay sculpture there, and these are the artifacts you find. These egg-shaped whistles may have been used for the music, a tradition that is still present in certain areas of Pakistan and India also. Okay, so when you see ornaments, we will come to these ornaments, and before this, I will show you certain things like okay, so seals are not in the today's PPT. So I will show you tomorrow again about the seals, the number of seals, and the archaeologists have discovered thousands of seals, mostly made of the steatite and occasionally agate, chert, copper, and terracotta. Okay, so with beautiful figures of animals such as unicorn bull, rhinos, tiger, elephant, bison, goat, buffalo, etc. Okay, so the realistic rendering of these animals in various modes is remarkable, and the purpose of producing seals was mainly commercial, and it appears that the seals were also used as amulets carried on the persons of their owners, perhaps as modern day identity cards. And the standard Harappan seal was a square plate 2 into 2 square inches made from steatite. And every seal is engraved in a pictographic script which is yet to be deciphered. Okay. So you are aware that pictographic script was the main script which they followed in Indus Valley, and certain researches are still going on and not yet deciphered the script. Okay, so and some seals have also been found in ivory. Ivory, you are well aware that ivory is like a the teeth of this horn of a elephant. Okay, so they all bear a great variety of motifs, most often of animals, including these of the bull with or without the hump. Okay, so you are well aware that humped bull is a important figurine you find at Indus Valley. And apart from the humped bull, without humped, a figurine of a bull also you find at Harappan, and elephant and tiger. Okay, So goat, also certain monsters in the sense a certain unnamed big animals also, large animals also you find at Mohenjo-daro and Harappan sites. Okay, and sometimes trees or human figurines were also depicted. Okay, so on the seals, you find apart from these human pictures or human figures, flora and fauna, the pictures of flora and fauna also you find. Okay, like animals and trees also, plants also you find on those seals. Okay, so the most remarkable seal is one of the depicted with a figure in a center and animals around. Okay, so this seal is generally identified as Pashupati Mahadeva, a seal of Pashupati Mahadeva, where we call it as a priest. Okay, so sorry, we call it as a proto Shiva. Okay, so by some scholars, where some identified it as the female deity. Okay, there is certain confusion. Okay, so this seal depicts a human figure seated cross-legged. Okay, so which is sitting in a Padmasana, in a posture of Padmasana, and an elephant and a tiger are depicted to the right side of the seated figure, while on the left, rhinoceros and a buffalo are seen. Okay, nearly 5 animals which is sitting beside that Pashupati Mahadeva. Okay, so in addition to these animals, 2 antelopes are shown below the sea, and seals such as these date from between 2500 and 1900 BC and were found in considerably numbers in sites such as the ancient city of Mohenjo-daro in and in the Indus Valley. Okay, so and also square or rectangular copper tablets with an animal or a human figure on one side and an inscription on the other, or an inscription on both sides have also found. Okay, certain inscriptions, a roughly identified inscriptions also you find, which is in the square and rectangular shape. Okay, so the figures and the signs are carefully cut with a burin, and these copper tablets appear to have been amulets, unlike the inscriptions on seals, which vary in each case. Inscriptions on the copper tablets seem to be associated with the animals portrayed on them. Okay, so likewise, you find, and we also observed certain potteries earlier, which is the styles of pottery where you get from these sites of Harappan civilization. Okay, so when you see a large quantity of pottery executed from the site, enable us to understand the gradual evolution of various design motifs as they employed in different shapes and styles. And the Indus Valley pottery consists chiefly a very uh, fine wheel-made wares, and very few being handmade. And plain pottery is more common than painted ware. Okay, so I already given that in certain cities you find painted gray ware potteries, and in certain cities in the mature Harappan you find red and black and red and ware pottery. Okay, so and in some places plain pottery also you find. Okay, so and plain pottery is very more common than painted ware, and plain pottery is generally of red clay, red clay with or without a fine red or gray slip. It includes knobbed ware ornamented with rows of knobs, and the black painted ware has fine coating of red slip on which geometric and animal designs are coated, executed in glossy black paint. Okay, so you see here, you find in the below picture, second picture and first picture, you find a black marked, black marked on this yellow colored and gray colored pottery. Okay, so and polychrome pottery is rare and mainly comprises small wedges. Okay, here see in the last pictures, you find certain wedges, very small wedges also you find, which are in somewhat red and a gray colored wedges in the last pictures. Okay, last two pictures. Okay, so which is small wedges decorated with the geometric patterns in red, black and green, rarely white and yellow. Okay, so incised ware is also rare, and the incised decoration was confined to the basis of the pans, always inside, and to the dishes of offering stands. Okay, so and pottery for household purpose is found in as many shapes and sizes as could be conceived of for daily practical use, and straight and angular shapes are an exception, while graceful curves are the rule, and miniature vessels mostly less than half an inches height are particularly so marvelous crafted as to evoke admiration. Okay, such a marvelous work you find. Okay, so apart from these pottery, you also find certain beads and ornaments also. Okay, so in the ornaments, basically, these are certain ornaments you find, and beads where you find. Okay, so in the first picture, you also find certain certain bead necklaces here. Okay, so where in two places particularly at Lothal and Chanhudaro, the bead making or bead manufacturing units you find, and you also find at Lothal a market with bead shops also you find. Okay, so like the collection of gold and agate ornaments include objects found at both Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, and the other ornaments includes bangle, chokers, long pendant necklaces, rings, earrings, conical hair ornaments, and other brooches also you find. Okay, so and the Harappan men and women, which decorated themselves with a large variety of ornaments produced from various conceivable material, ranging from precious metals and gemstones to bone and baked clay. Okay, so while necklaces, fillets, armlets, finger rings, commonly which is worn by both men and women, and women particularly wore girdles, earrings, anklets, and odes of jewelry found at Mohenjo-daro and Lothal include necklace made with gold or semi-precious stones, copper bracelets, and beads, gold earrings, and head ornaments. Like such ornaments you find at various sites of this Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so all ornaments are well crafted, and it may be noted that a cemetery has been found at Farmana in Haryana, where dead bodies were buried with these ornaments. Okay, so because after these burials you find at various places, like cyst and open burials where you find these ornaments were which is attached to such graves basically. Okay, so and the bead industry where we discussed earlier, and the bead industry seem to have been well developed, as evident from the factories discovered at Chanhudaro and Lothal. Okay, where the Lothal and Chanhudaro you find a marketplaces with these bead making bead selling shops. Okay, so and beads were made of the carnelian and amethyst and jasper crystal and quartz, steatite and turquoise, lapis lazuli, etc. And metals like copper, bronze, and gold, and shell, and terracotta or burnt clay were also used for manufacturing these beads. Okay, so the beads are in varying shapes, disc shaped, cylindrical, and spherical, and barrel shaped and segmented. And some beads were made two or more stones cemented together, and some of stone with gold covers, some were decorated with incising of painting, and some had designs onto them. Okay, so these certain great technical skill has been displayed in the manufacturing of these beads where you find. Okay, in Telugu, you are well aware that Pusalu, okay, Pusalu Dandalu, which is important a decorative item or used as a ornament by women, which is a common phenomena. Okay, in modern society also. The same beads, which is greatly used during the time of Indus Valley. Okay, so and Harappan people also made brilliantly naturalistic models of animals, especially monkeys and squirrels, used as a pinheads and beads. Okay, so and it is evident from the discovery of a large number of spindles and spindles wheels in the house of the Indus Valley civilization, basically. Okay, so that spinning of cotton and wool was very common. Okay, so spinning is indicated by findings of wools made of the expensive fians, as also the cheap pottery and shell. And men, women were two separate pieces of attire similar to the dhoti and a shawl. Okay, it is dhoti and shawl, both are the upper parts garments. Okay, the shawl covered the left shoulder, passing below the right shoulder. Okay, where you find in the figure of priest king. Okay, so and from archaeological finds, it appears that the people of Indus Valley were conscious about the fashion, and different hairstyles were in vogue, and wearing of a beard was popular among all. And where cinnabar was used as a cosmetic and face paint, lipstick and colorium. Colorium is nothing but the eyeliner, were also known to them. And many stone structural remains, many stone structural remains are also found at Dholavira, which show how the Indus Valley people used stone in construction also. And the artists, craftsmen of the Indus Valley were extremely skilled in a variety of crafts, metal casting, stone carving, making and painting pottery, and making terracotta images using simplified motifs, animals, plants, and birds. Okay, so we also seen we have 1 minute of the time, and we are end with this. These are various important findings you find at Mohenjo-daro, various cities at Indus Valley civilization. Okay, dear students, are you hearing? Students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
regarding Indus Valley civilization, up to the things what we covered, you have any doubts or like that? Any queries, doubts? You can ask me in the class. Otherwise, you can post in the group. Yeah, please.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So it may be disconnected because less than 1 minute of the time.